All right, everyone, it's getting kind of late. I know I'm starting way late, but let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, everyone, it's getting kind of late. Oh, God.
Hold
I know
on.
Hold on. Sorry for the echo. Okay. Now we're ready to go. Let's go live. So, for this week, honestly, Monday, I'm going to be super patient. We had all this Russia news, submarine news happen over the weekend. And I mean, I feel like Monday is going to be pretty volatile in the way of it's going to digest all this information. There's a lot of news that still needs to come out. And because, Monday, everyone's back to work, everything, I feel like we're going to get a lot more news on this whole event. And the market will spend most Monday digesting how it feels about this whole Russia situation, because global economics really depend on what's going on over there, right? So I'm just going to be really patient, and it could be come Monday, like just nobody cares and the market just does its thing normally, and that's completely fine too. But I'm not going to go into the week with like a super hard bias in either direction, right? And let's look at the news for this week as well. I mean, there's really not much as far as any sort of releases this week. It's not a CPI or FOMC week. It's just kind of a regular week. We have a couple little releases. Really nothing major Monday. I mean, there's some Euro stuff, but nothing major for regular trading hours. Canadian CPI, US durable goods, 7:30 Tuesday morning. This is Central Standard Time. We'll have that. That'll probably be a little good pre-market jolt in one direction or the other, but not be a complete trend setter for the day. Right. So just make sure you're flat during that situation. We have U.S. consumer confidence as well as new home sales. The new home sales is very important as far as an inflation reading, but in my opinion, it's not going to be let's say the market in the morning, those first 30 minutes, we've been ripping real hard and home sales come out bad or whatever. I don't think that's going to send us to new lows of day. It may jolt us one direction or the other 50 points, right? But if we've already set a pretty high trend for the day, I'm assuming we'll continue that trend after we get that 30 minutes of news or whatever. The market, in my opinion, the market will go where it wants to go 30 minutes after that release. So yeah, just be aware. We're going to have those releases unless they're just like out of the park bad or good. I'd expect 30 minutes of volatility, then we're done with it. Moving on to Wednesday. Yeah, crude oil inventories for those of you who trade CL. I don't, so it doesn't really affect me any. Thursday, German CPI, jobless claims. Those will be fun. That's pre-market, 1 hour before regular trading hours open. Then we have US GDP quarter over quarter as well. I'd expect probably those to be a pretty good trend setter on the day, because those are really better measure of what direction inflation is going, especially with the jobless claims. And so kind of look at that, and if we're way off one direction or the other on jobless claims, then kind of expect some real volatility going into the day. If it's close, then I'll probably just trade my regular plan. And then going into Friday, nothing. I guess we're still early morning. Okay, never mind. Friday. Is this Friday? June 30th. Is that Friday? I believe that is. Yeah. Okay. So we have PCE, price index. That all comes out Friday, 1 hour before market open. Expect that one to be pretty volatile. That's another really good in measure of inflation. And if it's way off one direction or the other, that's going to definitely set the trend for the day. So Thursday, Friday looking like our most volatile days as far as news releases go, which probably is good because we're going to spend Monday, Tuesday probably digesting this whole Russia information. So I'm really going into Monday with really a lot of patience. I mean, just to put it plain and simple. It's a lot of patience. So now let's look at some charts. We know what we're in for this week as far as news charts. This is our daily on NQ. Just a beautiful uptrend. It's so nice. Remember when we were like down here talking about like, oh man, we want to get up here soon. I was like, we're almost there. We're almost there. It's like 2 weeks later, right? And we're almost there. It's amazing what happens when like the bull rally finally kicks in. You'll spend months just chopping around, grinding, being gross, and losing money, right? You'll blow your accounts here several times waiting for this like 2-week rip that we get right here. And it's just, that's what the market does, man. It just waits till you're absolutely beaten and battered and want to give up. And then it's just going to completely explode. And we're kind of consolidating a little bit here in a really high volume area. We had this area marked out way beforehand because this was kind of the start of a really gnarly bear market trend and had some really good consolidation. And like I said, we already had a lot of volume here, right? And we're just consolidating in that area. I wouldn't be surprised to get like a quick wick down. I mean, look how extended we are with really no pullbacks whatsoever. And I mean, this is a bull market right now. There doesn't have to be pullbacks. So don't be hunting for some sort of god tier short trade, right? Because you can continue doing that over and over and over. I mean, look, there was a short here and it just got ate up. Short here, got ate up. Short here. Does it get ate up? I don't know. We'll find out this week, but I mean, if you get stuck in a short, don't try to hold it for negative $500,000 worth of drawdown. Just take your licking and prepare for the next setup, right? So like I said, for me going in Monday, I'm just going to be patient, play my setups with no bias, right? We'll finish going up when the market decides it's done going up. We're not going to be able to just pick out the magic level that all of a sudden is the all-time high. And we're going to go into a bear market from there. And really, I mean, it's going to be volatile. We're just not going to be able to catch that top ticket, right? So just be patient. Like I said, we're also very, very extended too, right? So I'm not getting any positions here and planning to hold for multiple days, right? I'm just playing level to level, taking my base hits. And if I catch a runner, I catch a runner, but I'm not going to try to force a runner through anything. I kind of did that on Friday with my lotto play. Really tried to force that runner to the half gap. And it ended up getting there. I took profit way before because I had to leave the house. But yeah, don't try to force anything. Take your base hits. And I mean, this is a great time to be making money, right? We have good volatility. The market is trendy. At least for me, I trade really good in a trendy market. That's where I make my bread and butter, because you guys know me. I like initial balance. I like holding runners. And in a trendy market, those plays work out really, really well, and they get you really, really paid. So yeah, hold your runners when you can, but don't try to force them. Take those base hits. But yeah, as far as direction goes, we're right in this consolidation zone. I don't have a bias in either direction. We'll let Monday decide. A pullback is totally acceptable. I mean, look how much we've ripped. But also, like I said, we can go to the next level, or I mean, all-time highs are literally right there, right? We can reach there in a matter of a week or two if it really wants to get there. So this is exciting times. This is fun. This is fun trading. We'll go ahead and check ES. I mean, I haven't been trading ES, and I'll really show you guys why. But I mean, it finally broke out of this infinite consolidation. It's in the kind of same boat as NQ as well. We're really reaching a point to where comparatively, there's not a lot of volume up here from the start of that bear market. So ES has got to do some exploring. I'm still not really trading it. And why I'm not trading it is when you look at the harmonics, and this is why I really like NQ right now. When you look at the harmonics, Order Flow Labs puts out a report of this every day, what the average harmonics are. NQ is around 50 points. That's your average harmonic rotation on NQ. And the average harmonic rotation on ES right now is like 8.5 points, right? So you can really nail a trade, and you can expect that rotation to be around 8 points. And that's really all you're going to catch before it comes back down and then makes its next wave up. and or down. And for me, the risk reward there just, I mean, I generally trade ES with like a 3 to 5 point stop, so I kind of have to catch that rotation almost perfectly to really catch the whole move that I'm going to be playing. And I don't know, it's just a little bit too tight for my personal risk parameters. So NQ allows a lot better reward to the risk that I generally take. So I'm still sticking on NQ. We'll come back to ES eventually. It'll get better. It's getting a lot better. You know, I peek at it every now and then, but still staying away from those triggers. So finally, let's go ahead and look at our charts and mark out some levels. I accidentally deleted like all my levels on NQ, so I have to redraw them all. So I'm going to redraw everything within probably 1,000 points of 15K. To the upside, I'm really not drawing much. I'm not drawing anything over what we currently have. I'm just going to draw kind of where we've been, downside like targets to long, right? And then to the upside, like I said, this is runner territory. If I catch one of these downside targets with a long, I'm going to hold with a runner. And I mean, really, these upside targets in a bull market, when we're chasing all-time highs, they can kind of be anywhere. So I'm going to be looking at like half gap levels, or really I'm going to pull out the options chain and look at expiration dates there and try to correlate that with NQ as well. And you guys can ask me in Discord how to calculate those as well. It's a pretty easy conversion. But yeah, let's draw a few lines. This is the hourly chart, by the way. But there's a few pretty good ones. Like obviously this volume node right here really needs to be noted, right? This was a previous high, a consolidation zone, and then also a previous high again. So we're going to mark out this area right about 15,250 to 15,235-ish, right? That's a very important zone for us to break above that and reconfirm bullishness, right? Because we rejected that area really hard, right? We sell off, we come down here, and if you guys remember how I trade CPI video, this is also a very similar setup to that, right? We have this kind of liquidation, big move flush, and this wasn't CPI, this was just a different sell-off event. But we have this big sell-off, right? We come back up to that platform, that diving board as we called it in the video, retest it, and then there's our short, right? So like right here, I didn't catch the short, but I caught this one because that was that play, that golden setup that we look for where you have a lot of risk to reward. You guys remember in the Discord, I caught that one. That was a nice play. What's our next zone? Want to zone, probably mark out this 15K level. I mean, 15K has just been an absolute monster of a level. I mean, the amount of selling pressure that happened right here, and you can see it in the volume right here. Like you can see these big orders that came through and it held every single time. Like it was incredible. Like if you guys remember, like when we hit this sell-off right here, I was almost 100%. This was pre-market. We were talking about like if we lose this level right now, like this is going to be a bloodbath. The overnight lows are right there. And what happened was we just barely dipped below those overnight lows where we thought it was going to sell off, popped just above. And what happened was it popped right back above, cleared out a bunch of stops, and then boom, we have a massive short squeeze. And we talked about that pre-market. Like if we end up breaking back above those lows, we could have a short squeeze, and we got it. That was a really great trade. That was the trade I tried to force a little bit of a runner there, but it still ended up being a great day. Next zone below, this is kind of the next zone that we look at for that area that we fall below here. I mean, 850 is okay. It's really kind of a weird consolidation because we had contract roll, right? And I actually really like just charting the current contract that we're on. I've found that I like it a little bit more because there's always that little bit of a gap. But I've found that charting the current contract sometimes will give me a little bit better levels than charting the continuous contract. And the furthest we're going to go back is probably 14,500. This is a really clear consolidation zone right here. Also a retest, kind of a bigger zone as well that I'm going to mark out. This is more of just a lookout right here. And then I guess I'm also going to mark out this one right here, 1417. This is actually the bottom of the volume, the real volume for this contract. Then it really goes pretty much away. A really good level of support. Volume wise, that's like the last little bit of volume. But yeah, nothing real exact under 780. I do like 14,780 a lot. That would be, if we broke below right here, this would be the next area I'd look to long. We have this really good volume node right here. You can see we had all this consolidation. That's where the breakout was. That's an area that really could be retested and support, right? In a bull market, we're just looking for those levels of support. So yeah, that's what I got here. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. Yutaka-san, are you pro trader? The answer is no. No, I am not. I'm amateur, beginner. I only started yesterday. Me new. Don't even know what trading is. And marking out volume or any trades above. I mean, obviously we have 15,480 as the high. I'll probably just put a line there. Not really an area I'm looking to short, right? I'm looking for more areas of consolidation. Get long in. I'm not super short biased. Now, if Rocket Scooter comes back, right? If we get some really bearish setups on Rocket Scooter where the options, like it's really clear that the options chain is flipped bearish, I'll start hunting shorts. We had that the other day. We had, I think it was this day here. We had, it was like a super clear short setup on Rocket Scooter. I actually missed the short because I spent like 15 minutes trying to confirm like, hey, is this data right? This doesn't like, why are we all of a sudden like bearish? But the data was right. It did flip bearish that day. And we sold off super hard. It was really clear. I just didn't believe it at first, right? Because we've been in a bull market. I was like, this came out of nowhere. But if we get setups like that, I'll start hunting shorts. But until then, I'm just looking for really good areas to take my longs. But that also comes with that really comes with whatever news comes out on Monday, Tuesday about the whole Russia thing too, right? So I'm being very patient, playing Rocket Scooter. We get good setups, I'll long or take trades with leverage. If not, it's okay. I don't need to take trades, right? That's the biggest thing you guys got to remember. You don't need to take trades. You need to not lose money. I know that's like the funniest part is like, you need to not lose money. So wait till something really clear comes through. Find that trade, take it with appropriate risk, appropriate targets, take those base hits, and let's just come out of this week solid. And yeah, maybe we'll hit a few bangers, maybe we don't, but let's just come out of this week solid because it's going to be probably a little weird. Like I said, this whole Russia deal, macroeconomic view, like however it comes out, it could probably set a little bit of a precedent or be a little bit of weird, right? Because, you know, Russia is obviously a very large country and has a lot of effect on the macroeconomic side of things. But yeah, that's really all I have for levels or anything that I really want to take. I mean, 15,580 obviously is POC, and I don't want to take a trade here. Right? I'm not entering a position here because this is where all the volume is happening. I'm entering positions to move back to this location. Or I'm looking for like volume and stuff to appear back up here to move away. But right here at POC at 15,100, like I don't know, there's not really good risk reward in either direction. Now down here at 14,980 at the edge of this volume cliff, we come down here and test it again. That'll be the 1, 2, 3. I think there's like a bunch there, but we'll count that as 3, 4. This would be the 5th test of 14,980 I really wouldn't expect it to hold if we come down and test it again. And it could, but I'm not going to be taking 14,980 with a lot of leverage. I mean, I was really surprised. I mean, it really looked like this one right here was going to go ahead and sell, and it didn't. It held. But you can only get so many tests out of a level before it's going to break. So I'm going to be watching that level very, very closely. I would expect it to break. If not, I mean, we have some pretty clear levels above as far as profit taking points. We'll find some good entries in the morning, I guess. Like I said, there's not really anything super clear that I really like right now. So mostly just chilling, vibing, waiting for something really clear to come through. And yeah, maybe we'll just be taking some really base hit rocket scooter and initial balance plays. But I don't, like I said, right now, I just have nothing really like harsh bias wise. Elitox 87 says he's patiently waiting on his CQG credentials from AMP. Yes. You're going to be so pumped when you get those as well, because CQG data is so nice compared. Like if you've been using like Volanox or like rhythmic data from like Apex, having AMP data is just like, or CQG data, it's just like so nice. It's like going from your ship box Toyota Corolla from like 1999, right, to now you're driving like, I wouldn't say like, it's not like a Lambo, right? This isn't Sierra charts with Denali feed, but it's still really nice. We're driving like maybe like a C10 Corvette, like the new one. So we're still having a lot of fun, but it's not a Lambo. But yeah, but that's really all I got for this week, guys. Nothing super crazy. I mean, you look at last week's data here. We obviously had a lot. This is last week's volume on the left here. We obviously have a lot of volume towards this 15,060 area, and it really tapers off, but really tapers off in both directions. But I like the upside just a little more still, right? Like there was still a lot of buying going on towards the top. We just needed a pullback, but we'll see. Elliot Talk says Rhythmic is Garbo. I'm one of those suckers that are ignoring, been having data for a week. Emailed them, nothing. Yeah, I literally don't use Rhythmic data. Thank you, Zednik, for thanking me. I mean, I do this stuff for you guys. I like streaming. I like trading. I figured while I'm going to be doing this stuff anyway, marking out these levels, might as well stream it. Maybe someone has questions. Maybe I can help someone. But back to what Elliot was saying, or Eli was saying, I don't use Rhythmic at all. It's the data's slow, kind of garbo, laggy. I literally I have a chart open just for like trade executions, but everything else that I use comes from AMP CQG, because I need something that's reliable, right? I need something where my data is not just going to randomly like start lagging, right? That's the one problem with Rhythmic. You start getting a lot of volatility, a lot of orders. You guys will notice that the latency goes like way up, or your charts freeze. When you have thousands of dollars or your entire account, you know, on the line on these futures trades, you can't be having data issues like that, right? You got to be able to know what's going on. So I go ahead and I spend a little bit of extra money. I mean, even with AMP, it's like kind of almost less money to be spending. It's like $12 a month for my data. So for that, I'll take the better data for sure. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you probably won't get anything out of them either. I mean, Rhythmic is cheap for them to be able to do their prop firm stuff. We've done some comparisons as well, and it's cheaper for them for sure. And our Trader Pro, like on its own, really isn't that bad. But when they're trying to get specialized data just for their platform, it bottlenecks way too much. So yeah, like I said, I just don't even bother with it. Don't use it. Use the good stuff. Yeah, Rhythmic candles none. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's gross. But I'm probably going to go ahead and call it a stream there. Like I said, I really don't got any sort of harsh bias. We're kind of right in the middle of a no trade zone right here. Maybe we go one way or the other, but I'm just going to be really patient this week. Let this news kind of rile itself out. Maybe we'll catch a trade. Maybe we won't. That's totally okay. But overall, we're going to have a good week. We're going to get base hits. We're going to stay appropriately leveraged, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So any more questions, feel free to hit me in the Discord. And yeah, maybe I'll throw out a video this week, or if not, I'll catch you guys again next Sunday. So have a good night.